And we know that young Muslims from around the country on a daily basis are engaged in their communities, at their universities, in society at large, and contribute to the civic and political progress of our community and our society. So once again, we want to highlight the role that this case plays in the strong relationship that must exist between law enforcement and Muslim American community organizations. Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from Imam Mahdi Bray, and I'll let him spell it, Executive Director for the Muslim American Society Freedom Foundation.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming. My name is Mahdi, M-A-H-D-I, Bray, B-R-A-Y. The Imam in front of the name, which is spelled I-M-A-M, is the ecclesiastic title rather than my name. First of all, I want to thank the Council on American-Islamic Relations for their role in dealing with this case. They immediately were contacted by the family, and they immediately put this on the right course. So certainly I want to thank the Council for American-Islamic Relations for their role. But all of us have a role to play in this, both organizationally, the media, throughout. We all have a role to play. And so I want to kind of focus on the role that we need to play, the role that we intend to play along with the other Muslim organizations in the community and the greater community at large is the role that we've been playing throughout the last 20-some years, and that is the Muslim American Society is involved in working with young people. We have approximately 20 freestanding youth centers across America. We are engaged with our young people, but obviously that engagement is not enough. We need to do more, and we intend to do more. One of the things that we're doing also that we, in cooperation with the organizations that you see here today, is that on December the 24th through the 27th in Chicago, Mr. Awad and others will join us for our National Youth Summit on teen violence, hatred, and intolerance, in which young people from across America, Muslims and non-Muslims alike, will come together and discuss the important issue of teens being sucked up into antisocial behavior that often can lead to violence and things of that nature. Certainly, what happens in our community is not an anomaly. It happens in many other communities. Therefore, we want to address it holistically, both internally within our community and in the greater outside emphasis and the greater community involving young people who are vulnerable often to these organizations that are extremists that will prey upon the vulnerability of our young people. Our young people, we're determined, will not be prey for those, whether they call themselves Muslims or any other group, to these type of organizations that will try to lead them in wrong directions. So again, I also want to reemphasize that for those who want to smash and cash and the Islamophobes, etc., we will still stand shoulder to shoulder with our community and our young people to say that our young people are not to be demonized, not to be characterized as terrorist suspects, but they should be characterized as what they really are. They are indeed America's brightest prospects, and we stand behind that, and we plan to support them, and we hope that you came out here in mass numbers now to see the problems. We hope that you will join us in Chicago to see what we're talking about in terms of the solutions. Thank you so much.
Next, we'll hear from Imam Johari Abdul Malik with the Coordinating Council of Muslim Organizations of the Greater Washington, D.C. area. And maybe give it a spelling.
Imam Johari Abdul Malik, I-M-A-M, first name J-O-H-A-R-I, last name A-B-D-U-L-M-A-L-I-K. I serve on the Executive Committee of the Coordinating Council of Muslim Organizations in the Washington area. I'd like to say on behalf of the Council that we have been meeting with the heads of Islamic centers, mosques, and schools within our region. We have shared with them advisory notices with regard to these events as they unfold, that we have been working diligently with the FBI, and they have been conducting with our coordination a number of investigations and interviews. I want to applaud first and foremost again the family for coming forward, for reaching out to their mosque leadership, and then bringing in the national leadership of CAIR and others to be able to get to the bottom of this. I think we really have a great success that has come out of this tragedy. And that is as a result of our coordinated and cooperative engagement that these young people are no longer at large. Can feel hopeful that whatever was going to happen, which we don't know what it was, that we can rest assured that at least these young people hopefully will soon be back in the United States. I also have to add that, as you know, one of these students was a college student at Howard University. And it is the university that has already been engaging and communicating with its student population, the Muslim student body, to help them work their way through this tragedy. Although these young people were active in the masjid, from all of our interviews, there's been no sign that they were in any way outwardly radicalized. That as far as any of the youth leaders or the masjid leadership has been concerned, that there haven't been any reports that there was anything outwardly suspicious in their behavior. Although these young people weren't at my mosque, we are in communication with the youth directors of the other centers and feel that, as Mahdi Bray was saying, that there obviously has to be more that we need to do. It is our hope to join the Council on American-Islamic Relations and others as we probe and establish new ways of reaching out to our youth, if it means theologically reevaluating the text that these people are reading, to look at websites that perhaps young people are reading from overseas, to become engaged in our own personal internal policing of our mosques and centers so that we can mitigate this harm in the future. Thank you so much.
And finally, we'll hear from Rafi Uddin Ahmed, Vice President of the Muslim Association of Virginia.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Rafi Uddin Ahmed. Spelling is R-A-F-I. That's first name. Middle name is U-D-D-I-N. And last name is Ahmed, A-H-M-E-D. My statement is going to be very brief. A lot of the people here behind me has already touched up on a lot of the issues, and I just want to make sure that it's known that this is not a norm in the Muslim community. I belong to a masjid in Prince William County. We are working very diligently with other masajids in the area to make sure that the Islam is not misinterpreted. During our Friday sermons, we make sure we let our kids, youth, and rest of our members know what the true meaning of Islam is. And this really is not a reflection on all the youth in our area. Our youth are involved in a lot of other good things. They're civically involved. They have helped out in a lot of campaigns, help out a lot of the candidates. They're out feeding the needy at homeless shelters. So I just want to make sure that this is not a reflection on the entire Muslim community. Our youth is out there doing a lot of good things. Thank you.
And just to clarify, a masjid is a mosque, and masajid is plural of more than one mosque. We'll take a limited number of questions because there's so many people, and again, recognizing we have to be intentionally vague, so we really can't get into the details of names, addresses, place, those kinds of things, just for confidentiality. First of all, because the families come to us, and anybody in the future who comes to us needs to know that we'll maintain confidentiality, even though anything that is told to us and that is given to law enforcement, that's not an issue. But in terms of public revelation of facts, we have to be very general in terms of that, and we don't want to compromise any ongoing investigation that the FBI is conducting. You had